Okay, have you ever been in one of those arguments where you can't win? Or maybe halfway through you realize, why am I even doing this? Well, today we're going to break down how you can actually win an argument. And here's the thing, you might be surprised to find out that the best ways to win, well, they have nothing to do with being right. All right, let's get into it. So, to kick things off, let's start with this absolute classic from Mark Twain. It just sets the stage perfectly, right? It kind of suggests that sometimes the smartest thing you can do is just not play. But, it also brings up a really tricky question. In any argument, how can you be so sure that you're not the stupid one?
All right, so here's the game plan for today. Think of it like 5 different levels of arguing. We're going to start at the bottom and work our way up. First, just avoiding it. Then, believe it or not, losing it. After that, we'll talk about diffusing it. Then we get into the dark arts, using unethical tactics. And finally, way up at the top, we've got using good old-fashioned logic.
Okay, so let's start at the very foundation with the two easiest strategies. We're calling this section winning by not playing. And what's so interesting here is that both of these methods get you the win by not actually fighting at all. It's all about strategic retreat, not some big head-on battle.
First up, the simplest move of all. Just avoid the argument. The pros are pretty obvious, right? You save time, you save energy, and you avoid a ton of frustration. But there's a real downside. If you just sidestep every disagreement, you end up in your own little bubble, never really challenging what you believe. And what's worse, you might be the one who's actually wrong and you'd never know it. Okay, now for one that sounds completely backwards. Winning by losing. And honestly, this can be a total game changer. The whole point is to shift your goal. It stops being about your ego, about proving you're right, and it becomes all about getting the outcome you really want. Let me show you how this works with a story.
So picture this. Your roommate comes at you and they are furious. They say, I left 20 cookies out for us and you ate 17 of them. Now here's the thing. You know for a fact that you only took 16, just 16. They're wrong, but they're still really mad. And let's be honest, 16 is still a lot of cookies. So you gotta ask yourself, what is the real goal here? Is it to win a pointless argument about one single cookie? Or is it to, calm your roommate down so they keep making cookies in the first place? If you want more cookies in the future, you lose. You just say, you're totally right, that's awful, I'm so sorry, it will never happen again. And boom, there it is. That's the real win. By letting go of that tiny, insignificant point about one cookie, you got exactly what you wanted. Your roommate isn't angry anymore, your friendship is fine, and, most importantly, the cookie assembly line is back in business. You lost the battle, but you absolutely won the war. All right, moving up to level 3, using the Socratic method. Now, this is a really powerful tool for diffusing an argument, but as you're about to see, it can be used for good, or it can be used to make someone so unbelievably annoyed they just want to flip the table over. Let's talk about the good version first. This is all about being humble. You go into a discussion with the genuine goal of learning something, not just showing off how smart you are. The key is to find little, tiny things you both can agree on. And then you use those as a foundation, like little building blocks, to slowly work your way up to the really tough stuff. And this quote from Socrates pretty much sums up the entire mindset you need. It's about being okay with not having all the answers. It's about finding the truth with the other person, not against them. But then there's the dark side, the annoying version. This is basically weaponized curiosity. You're not trying to understand anything. You're just hitting them with a fire hose of questions. The real goal here is to get them confused, make them frustrated, and back them into a corner where they can't even think straight. So let's see how this plays out. It always starts with something that sounds totally innocent. Back to the cookie. Your roommate is mad you took the last one, and you ask, why does it upset you if I took the last cookie? Seems reasonable, right? But this is just the first move in a really irritating game. And there it is. All of a sudden, we are not talking about a cookie anymore. Now we're debating economic theory, resource allocation, and corporate pay structures. These questions are designed to be impossible to answer with a simple yes or no. It's all about making their completely normal feelings about a cookie seem totally irrational. It is so frustrating to be on the receiving end of this. And that leads us right into our next section, level 4 on the pyramid. Welcome to the unethical playbook. This is where we stop pretending we care about the truth at all. The only goal is to win, and you do it by using every dirty, manipulative trick you can think of. And just to give you an idea of how many of these tactics exist, The philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer actually listed out more than 25 of them. It's a whole catalog of dirty tricks. We're about to go through a quick highlight reel of the worst offenders, so get ready. Okay, let's do a quick fire round. First, you take their argument and you blow it up into something totally extreme and ridiculous. Then, you take one specific thing they said and generalize it so it's easier to attack. Or you just try to make them angry on purpose because angry people don't think clearly. And the classic, when you're losing, you stop attacking their idea and you start attacking them. And the list goes on. Interrupt them constantly so they can never finish a sentence. The second you feel like you're losing, just change the subject entirely. You can even just make up a quote from some expert no one's ever heard of. Or here's a fun one. Connect their argument to something that everybody already hates, even if it makes absolutely no sense. It's just a total minefield of bad faith arguments. Okay, deep breath. After all that chaos, we've finally made it to the top of the pyramid, level 5, winning with logic. This is, without a doubt, the hardest way to win an argument. And let's be real, it's often the most boring. The actual framework here is super simple. You probably learned this back in school. It's 3 steps. Step 1, you make your claim. What's your point? Step 2, you provide evidence. What are the facts that back it up? And step 3, and this is the part everybody seems to forget, you have to explain your reasoning. You have to connect the dots and show why your evidence proves your claim. But of course, even logic can be twisted and abused. You can just bury a weak argument under a mountain of big, complicated words and crazy sentence structures. You do it until the other person's brain just kind of short circuits. It's a way to sound smart while hiding the fact that you don't really have a point at all. So we've gone through the whole spectrum, right? From just walking away all the way up to building this perfect logical case. And it all comes down to this one last really important question you have to ask yourself. The next time you feel that argument starting, just stop and think, what am I actually trying to win here? Because your answer to that question tells you exactly which of these levels you should be on. Sometimes the only way to win is to not play at all. And sometimes the real victory isn't about being right. It's about making sure you get more cookies.